Okay, so this video is going to teach you how to do some text masking, as you can see here. And a text mask is where, of course, you have a piece of text serving as a mask. So in this case, I've got this piece of text that just says text map, and below it is a crowd. So I wanted you to see how this is done, and then there's a little something extra in this that I hope to show you, which you can kind of add a little bit of extra interest to this. So let's get started. I'm going to switch over to, let's see, what do I have queued up? Okay, so the thing to remember first is you want to have your picture that's going to show the text be ready. So it's, in my case, it's ocean. And I actually have a piece of text already queued up. That's some shattered glass you can see, which is here. I'm going to hide that. The combination looked kind of interesting, actually. Like this with the dune. Maybe I'll keep that. I don't know. Anyway, let's see. There's my text. Now you can see from the text, this is, if you think back to a previous video, this is an example of what? If you think displacement maps, you are correct. So I used the texture of the shattered glass to influence the text. So let's use this. Now what I did was I actually made a selection. I'm holding down, I think, Command. Yep. So that gives me Command on this text layer. Now I'm going to go to Select, Save Selection, and I'm going to give this a name. I'll just call this text 2. Okay, choose OK. And now if I just choose Select, Deselect, my selection goes away. I'm going to hide this for a second. Maybe I'll hide that too, and hide this as well. Okay, turn back the ocean. Turn this back on. I'm going to now make a mask layer. I just want to make, whoops, I made it on the wrong layer. Okay, go to the ocean layer. Pay attention to this as I'm doing this video. Just make sense of where I'm working and how many layers I have. That will be useful and helpful. So I just basically took the text from this layer here. It's hidden right now. This is hidden. This is hidden. So we can just effectively ignore these. Okay, so. And I don't know what I did here. I'm going to hide this one too. This was another. I don't think this needs to exist. Anyway, this layer too. Okay, so now I have this layer with the ocean. I'm on that layer. I'm going to choose the mask layer, which is this one, this tiny button. You've seen this before. You do this with your standard mask. So you press this, and you get that. Okay, so now here's where, remember I saved that text moments ago. I'm going to just go to Select, Load Selection, where it says Channel. I'm going to hold this down. I'm going to choose Text 2. Choose OK, and there it is. So that's pretty good. I'm going to nudge it over a little bit. I'm using the arrow key. I'm liking that. Okay, so now the thing to remember is if you just go ahead and take the paint bucket tool, set black over white, and we do this, nothing's happening, right? Or if you went into the center, you might think, well, what's going on? What's happening is it's just showing you directly what's below this picture. We want to do, let's go back, Command Z. We want to do the opposite. We want to have it so that the ocean shows through the letters. So I'm going to say Select Inverse and Option Delete. Oops, what am I doing? Sorry, not Option Delete, sorry. And now use the paint bucket in this area. All right, Command D, turn off what we see there. All right, so anytime you see this checkered pattern, that's just telling you that Photoshop's showing you a transparent layer. This would not be printed. So let's turn on some of what we have. We've got the dune, and this just gives us some contrast. We got the shatter thing. Oh, okay. So that's a little busy. This isn't necessarily beautiful, but the contrast is pretty decent. So that is how you do a text mask. It's a little busy right at the heart of the shatter here, plus the picture too could be, you want to shop around and get real much better picture, perhaps. I don't know, much better, but for instance, let's try this. The mask is in place. I'm going to select the entire picture. I'm going to delete it. So that makes sense. It should make sense that the picture's gone. So why do we see nothing? Because there's nothing for it to show. Like, we got this frame. However, if I started to paint, let's just get a different color going here. Like so, sure, we'll go with this color. And if I start to paint here, you can see what's happening. So I'm painting in. This is, in effect, the layer that's below, and that's why it's showing through. So you could, you could take the brush tool, you could change your colors a bit. I kind of want more contrast. Okay. And you could just, do what I'm doing there. And you can see how that's impacting and influencing the look of your text. I hope this makes sense to you. So I just swapped out, well, that's kind of cool. I swapped out the picture for some paint. I don't like that. Command Z. Okay. So here and there, it's got its kind of a cool effect. All right, so suppose we want to take this to the next level. At the top of this video, I did say that there was something else that is a little extra treat that I want you to know of. So yes, I could keep, try to find better matching pictures. So let's go back to maybe this. Let's just snag this picture here, copy this. I grabbed the crowd, that's what I did. And I'm going to paste the crowd here. Ooh, what a mess. Oh, I see what it did. So we have to throw away this mask. Delete that. We're going to say delete it. There it is. So it's just the mask. So there's a slightly better contrast. Yeah, okay. It's still really busy, though. It's still really busy. I mean, it's part of it is the picture. So we could do these little tricks. We could go to filter, little review here. Remember, filter, blur, Gaussian blur. Let's blur the heck out of this background picture. Let's raise this radius. Okay, something. It's a little dark for my taste, but let me see if I can work with this for this demo. And then, not really digging it still. I am going to make another layer, and I'm just going to fill this layer with a solid white. Option delete does a fill, and now we're going to lower the opacity. Don't worry, I will get to this special extra thing that I wanted to show you. I'm just sort of doing the setup at this point. Okay, this is a little more workable. You have to keep in mind, these videos I try to race, so I'm sort of limited with, I don't have the benefit of time like you have in the class where you can finesse and tweak things. Okay, this has got some potential, something's workable here. I'm kind of liking how this is looking. So now what I'm going to do is I am going to actually commit this for real. In other words, I'm going to really make, in fact, let's duplicate this layer. Duplicate layer, yeah. Cool. We're going to hide this. This is what we've got. And now we're going to, it looks like we're going to try to delete it. So I'm going to, let's see. Right button click. I'm going to say apply layer mask. So I right button clicked on the thumbnail and I'm going to choose apply layer mask. So what it did is it just made, you can zoom in so you can see what it did. It really, this was a destructive edit. Currently this is what I painted. This is the old one. It's still here. I just hit it. This is the copy and it really is what we see there. Okay, so that is 100% a destructive edit. So that you can see I have a backup in case this goes wrong. Okay, but this permits us to do these extra cool effects, and here is one of those effects. So I'm going to double click this area, this section here, double click it. Okay, it introduces what are called layer styles, and this is the surprise I saved for the end. You can be curious and experiment with these different settings. Let me demonstrate bevel and emboss because it's at the top of the list. Click it. Look at that crispness that just came into this. Turn it on, turn it off. Rather, I turned it on, then I turned it off. It's right now it's on because the little check mark is there. Now here's the other best thing that you should know. If you zoom in, there's another kind of hidden panel. If you click this, see how all this changed? Just by clicking that. All right? So be aware of that. And that will allow you to play around with these settings, such as size. Watch. Oh, see what it's doing? Yes, of course you can see. So this can give you kind of a 3D effect with your text. You can soften the look. That's not super, it is, okay, it's getting a little better. But I purposely chose this shattered glass to get these little bits and to kind of emphasize this look. Depth, you can make it, it changes the look somewhat. Get technique, you can go chisel hard. You can see what that does. So again, half of the stuff I learned is just by being curious and poking around and seeing what things do what. So I'm trying to provide you a bit of a shortcut because, per usual, we're in a race for time. This class being only a half-year course. Anyway, so look at what I've done here. The default style, it says inner bevel. You can change these. Maybe you want to try emboss. So again, I can't say it enough. Be curious, poke around. Ooh, I like that. Pillow emboss. Just see what these effects do, and it might just surprise you with how great and how awful some of them are. And what happens is the more you play with this, the more you get sort of a mental archive of effects, and you can start to kind of say, oh, I know what would look really good with this, or at the very least, you know where to go find effects that you're interested in. So let's say this is pretty good. I'm going to hide it for a second. Let's couple it with this guy, the drop shadow, the ubiquitous drop shadow. So this also has another hidden panel right here. And here you can do things like you can change the distance. As you can see, it's taking hold right there. The spread is just how, I guess, how would I describe that? Diffused it is. And then, of course, the size is pretty self-evident right there. I'm going to make it a little crisper. Something like that. You can change the angle, so telling us where the light's coming from. And the opacity, how intensely dark that shadow would be. So I'm not going to highlight all of these because I am assuming you are a curious designer, curious artist, and you are going to poke around and see and discover. But I did want to show you some of the little hidden gems that are inside Photoshop, namely drop shadow, bevel and emboss, and actually I'm not digging the drop shadow, to be honest. All right, we're going to go try contour. If I'm not mistaken, each one of these has its own little subsection. It does. All right, well, this video is going to be, I'm going to call it short, but there's something really fun to explore with texture. So I'm pointing you in this direction. Maybe I'll highlight this. Maybe I'll make this into a separate video. But that's all I have for now. Okay, we'll talk in class. Bye.